What's going on, people? Welcome to another episode of Jones and I'm your host, B. Jones. And I got a special show today for y'all because I got some special guests with me. The CEOs of Spacely Unlimited clothing line, my man Big, my boy Breeze. Thank y'all for coming here.
Thanks for having us,
man.
man.
Yes, sir.
Always a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, I got some topics. I was talking to them earlier, and I'm like, I got some topics on my head. Like, some shit been going on in the league this year. Some shit we don't know about. Some shit we don't know why it's going on. But one of the topics, the 75th anniversary. I don't know why some players are on there, and I don't know why some players aren't on there. So I want to find out from these two who should be on there and who doesn't need to be on there, or give up a spot. Take somebody off to put somebody new on. Second topic, the Lakers. Y'all already know, Laker fan. I do Laker shows. I haven't been doing them lately because ain't nothing to talk about. We all know what's going on. So I want to get these guys' opinions on what their thoughts on the Lakers. Where are the Lakers headed? What do we need to do for next year? Because this year's looking sad. And the third topic, MVP. Who's the MVP this year? Who's the best player? Who's the nigga doing the most? Who's the nigga balling out, trying to take their team to the next level? Who's standing out? So without further ado, I'm going to let y'all do y'all thing. We're going to do our thing and get our weed ready, and then we're going to start this show. All right, gentlemen. Like I said, once again, cheers. Cheers.
We can't give people no promo. We got to turn them labels around.
Oops, yeah. IPAs. not a brand, just drink IPAs, y'all. All right, so now, like I said, the first topic is going to be a controversial one. There's going to be some players that shouldn't be on here that you're going to be like, this nigga's tripping. But, my own personal opinion and what I think. Dwight Howard got left off the list. I don't know why. I know he's turned out low-key bum. He was superstar and then low-key lost your status. Went from superstar to all-star to low-key a role player now. It's kind of bad, but don't forget what he did. He led the league 3 years in rebounds. Took a weak Orlando team to the championship. Got lost to the Lakers 4-1, but he got there. Beat the young LeBron. He is Dwight Howard, one of the best big men that ever came into the league. He was one of the low-key last big men that we had before everybody started shooting. So give this man his credit.
I feel you on that. I feel you on that because he was the defensive player of the year.
Defensive player.
He took that, and I was at Game 3 for the 2009 finals.
Okay.
Just to see, and no disrespect to anybody out there, but he had some bums. I mean, you had Jameer. You had Turkey.
You were gonna lose.
You're playing against Kobe and
it was no
Gasol. So I was a little more disappointed, and he beat LeBron that year, going to the he beat a good Cavs team.
And me being a LeBron, I was hating on Dwight. I'm glad he lost because he beat LeBron, but
I give him that.
And the person I want to take off that, like I said, we only got 75 players, and we have to take one off to replace what we say. So I really think Dame Lillard can go, even though he's a Hall of Famer, future Hall of Famer. He's a great player, but what has he done other than shoot logos? He shoot logo threes. I don't know.
I mean, other than in the playoffs, though.
What has he done in the playoffs?
Like, he done sent teams home in the playoffs. He probably won the cup.
Has he not got sent home in the playoffs?
Not like that.
He hasn't even made it to the championship.
But he didn't really have no good team. I mean, like him and CJ were the same player.
And my point exactly.
The same player.
Dwight didn't have a good team.
Same player.
Dame didn't have a good team. Dwight made it. He was a big man.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see what you mean.
You see what I'm saying?
I feel like the Magic could have, they did have. I don't know. Turkoglu's a shooter, man.
Turkoglu was good. A prime Turkoglu was cool. He was all right.
The team was built, because if you got Dwight Howard in the middle, and then you got a bunch of shooters, if they double, you can kick it out, and then you got wide open.
You got a wide
open look. But I mean, I feel like Dwight Howard's been disrespected, even though the Lakers ain't call him a bum because you had ice in these, you weren't doing nothing, bum.
Right.
But that don't take away what you did, bro.
That don't take away nothing you did. So I'm Dwight Howard. I'm putting you on that 75. Dame Lillard, I got love for you. Keep making music or something, but I don't think you should be on the 100, but not this one. Over Dame Dollar. That's what
Okay.
Sorry to the Dame fans, but I'm just saying, I'm just keeping it real.
Yeah, Dame is cool. He cool, but I really believe like a lot of the players that was put on this list from this era could have got left off, and then when they did the 100, when they done with their career and they added something.
I wish I can disagree with that.
I believe.
I can't even disagree with that.
Because some people like, man, you still got shit to prove. Like some of these players done been through the battles.
Yes.
And really been out there moving and really been through the grind of the NBA. Some of these like, especially with the new rules and all that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like,
How we have to you got to evolve as players, and these players are evolving with the game, which is cool, but. Some of these players hasn't done enough to be on this list. I feel. I think, like I said, I feel Dwight's done enough. Even though he hasn't, he got a ring, which is kind of, the bubble ring or whatever. But
nah, I think that was a hard ring. Hard ring to get. Like you away from your family, you in a whole different state. You in a bubble. You got away from people.
The pandemic is that's what made it
like a different type of stress.
I feel that's what made it a better win because of the pandemic. They had to adjust quickly, or just throw away the season, or we can do this. And they went on and did that.
But it is a giant pro, and as a Laker fan, it's kind of hard for me to admit this sometimes. But I'm so lucky that LeBron did not have to travel all through the playoffs, bro. Like not having to fly.
I'm not worried about LeBron in that aspect because LeBron take care of his body.
Well, no, not just LeBron, but just players in general being able to not have to travel, fly. Yeah. That's more rest, more practice, and. So compared to other years of playoffs and finals?
I mean, that aspect I feel, but when you are away from your family, your friends, you are in the grind of the playoffs,
you do that normally anyway.
But you still have the option to bring people along if you want to. You can have people, not maybe stay in the same hotel, same bus, but be in the same city, get out.
Not be too far,
decompress, go to the club, relax. Now you just in this thick of the things. Now you got the fucking pandemic to worry about. People getting sick. You away from your family. You don't know what's going on.
A different type of stress.
It's a different type of stress.
It's a whole different mentality now. You got to think differently in situations like that.
Turn that on.
So I mean, it was getting warm up. So, my man Breeze, who do you think?
I want to know who you got.
Who do you think should be? Who you want to put on the list? Who should you take off the list? And then say who you want to put on.
Yeah. First off, my new braids is itching.
Breeze.
But first, let yourself. But nah, my person I want to put on.
Who you want to take off?
I want to take off Bill Walton.
Bill Walton. Okay.
Bill Walton got to go. Like I get it. He was a great college player and all that, but he couldn't stay healthy. Like with his foot injuries and all that, he really couldn't stay healthy. And he only got 6,000 NBA career points.
Wow, yeah.
Like even though you averaged 13 points when the scores was a little bit lower, but you only got 6,000 NBA career points. Fuck Kareem got 36,000 when they were playing that low.
And they're on the same list.
That's fucking
Bill Walton
crazy.
bought his way onto this list.
You gotta go. Like just like you had his son playing for the Lakers on the bench for 10 years, bro. You gotta go, and you gotta get away from the Sacramento.
I love Luke Walton, man.
And the person I put on is, I mean, I'm not being biased, but he's one of my favorite players, but probably a lot of y'all favorite players. Tracy motherfucking McGrady, aka T Mac. Mac attack.
He was robbed. I think he was robbed. He was the most player that was robbed. I don't know how to say it, but he was a player that was robbed the most.
Man,
this 75.
If you go being drafted from high school, and then you're not really getting no PT like that, you get a coaching change, and then you start averaging 15 points coming off the bench, and then you leave expecting to play with Grant Hill, expecting to play with another superstar. Then they say, Grant Hill, I mean, he had his ankle injuries or whatever.
He was injured.
Then they give you the keys to the franchise, and you go from 15 to 26 points a game, and then you go on the tear and averaging over. You got 32 points a game, 28 points a game, 26 points a game. His numbers getting better. If it wasn't for injuries, T-Mac would have a championship.
I hear that. And like you said, because of his injuries too, and he was still getting better.
Still getting.
He wasn't
with a bad
falling
back,
off.
He was averaging 17.
He wasn't falling
coming
off
the bench for San Antonio.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying, he went to Beijing and caused havoc.
You know what? I would be glad to remove Bill Walton from this list.
Sorry, Bill. You LA, UCLA alumni, but you gotta go. You're not.
You X'd out, 6,000 points too at that. Nah, that's the lowest. That's the lowest on the list.
Gotta be.
Man, bench players get more than that.
Gotta be. Hey, Dale Curry, the bench player, got more points than that.
You feel me?
So Bill Walton averaged 13 points in
13.6 points a game.
And how many seasons? You know
how many rings he got?
Did he play with the
I
Celtics?
think he got one.
I'm pretty sure he got one with the Celtics. Bill Walton got one with the Celtics.
I think he got one.
I don't know how many he got, but he got some rings for sure.
Okay.
But I mean, you playing with Larry freaking Bird, Kevin McHale.
It's not that hard.
Robert Perry and shit.
I could have got one right now.
I could have came off the bench and averaged 5 points, couple rebounds.
I could have hit some big shots. Straight up.
I could have scored some points.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I could have did that shit. But it ain't that hard.
But y'all, I like that. I like that though. That's a very good one though. Like get rid of one to put that dude on.
He gotta go.
That's perfect.
Sorry, Bill. You and them fake teeth. You gotta go.
I can dig it.
So I'm gonna use his his Bill Walton, because I did not know that stat about Bill Walton. I'm good, thank you. And that is actually very disappointing. I've heard his name a lot, so I thought like maybe he's and then that's why I asked about his rings. I was like, maybe he got a bunch of rings.
I wouldn't say a bunch, but he probably got one.
So my pick to who should be in here is Robert Horry. Robert Horry.
Oh yeah.
Okay. He has 7.
Wait. Okay, but you saying that? Who are you taking off to put him on?
So I would, because of this new fact that I just that Breeze just told me about. I want to say Bill Walton, but I'll say this though. There's a lot of names on there that I don't know.
Right. Likewise.
And
before my time.
I feel that there might be a reason why we don't know them. Not maybe because they didn't make enough of a big impact. Some of them, okay.
You was born in 1991.
Okay.
4.
But if we're talking about a better player, I think a Robert Horry and what he did in the 7 rings and being so clutch, he made clutch shots to win rings every single team he was on.
He's had his hand on the wing.
He has his big shot Bob moments in every single team. And he ends up winning that year.
Yes,
I'm not taking nothing away from Big Shot Rob. 7 rings, Horry.
Okay, I'll be honest.
I'm not taking nothing away from him. But you play with Hakeem Olajuwon. You play with Tim Duncan. You play with David Robinson. You play with Kobe. You play with Shaq.
Correct.
Of course you're going to get 7 rings. You on championship teams.
To Big's
but
point,
they still need shots
to Big's point, he still need the big shots.
Hold on.
He wasn't the superstar. We're not saying he's a superstar. He deserves to be on this list.
Correct.
He wasn't the star of the team, but he helped the stars win that ring.
Okay,
seven
times.
Hold on. So you got that Laker hat on, right?
Yes.
So you mean to tell me
go.
the Lakers wouldn't have 3-peated without Robert Horry?
I don't think they would have won.
Are you telling me that?
Not that I wouldn't think. If he didn't make those shots, they would have lost. Like they were.
Somebody else would have been in his place.
Not making those shots. Probably.
Somebody else would have been in his place.
Oh really?
Okay.
Who else?
Y'all telling me
that clutch?
Robert Horry is the reason why the Lakers won the championship.
Shaq and Kobe are the reason
why.
Okay.
Thank you. You're a role player. Play your role. He did a good job at that. You're not on the top 75.
I'm sorry, but I don't.
He did his role to the T.
See, John Havlicek. You don't know who that is.
Really, me neither.
Man,
he sounds like a shooter.
Just
those
like
names sound like shooters.
Y'all do some research. Y'all talking about taking a
But does he have 7? Does he have 7 rings? Does he have 7 rings?
Over Dwight.
Bro.
7 rings is.
But
you're having a role in those 7
on this list, only one person has more rings than his guy, and that's
you're fortunate. Everybody knows in the NBA, it goes like even in sports, even NFL. I would say more or less NFL and NBA. It all depends on the team you go to. The team. So when you go to a Rockets team that's already on the cup to win the championship. And then you go to a Lakers team that's already winning the championship.
Well, I mean,
you go to.
It's about franchises then at that, because there's only like 3 heavy hitting franchises.
So if Robert Horry went to any other franchise besides with them great players, he wouldn't have them rings.
So, but if he wasn't as good, he would have got traded. If he wasn't doing nothing, they would have shipped him out.
I was gonna say
he wouldn't have them rings.
If he was a bench player that just never got used and still ended up getting a ring, because there's so many of those, a bunch of players that have.
He's not a Luke Walton.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah. No disrespect.
No disrespect, Luke, but you didn't do much, man.
You stayed on the bench.
So then maybe someone in the comments could let me know who on here is compatible, who is better on here than Robert Horry, that should be still here, because I'm telling you, man, there's some names I just feel like they
name
don't.
75 players better than Robert Horry.
You're a fool. Okay, you can say 75.
I can name 70, and Robert Horry ain't no fucking scrub, but I bet you every NBA aficionado every NBA analyst, everybody who's been in the league is not going to put Robert Horry on the top 75 list.
Okay, now
over some of these other players, though. I know it's different eras, but over some. There's three players on here immediately. That's anybody who said, I'll take Robert Horry instead of this guy.
No way.
Yes way.
So
these are superstars in their day.
No, I know. But
was Robert Horry ever a superstar?
Hey, he would have been a superstar back in their day then.
He was not.
No, back in,
y'all.
Everybody knows Robert Horry.
Now y'all disrespecting.
I'm disrespecting Dave
pretty soon y'all gonna get Elgin Baylor need to get took off the list.
No. That's a different name.
Because y'all ain't seen him.
Because I haven't seen him, but his name has came up. He's so good that I was.
It don't. Okay.
Some of these names never even reached.
Just because you ain't heard, don't mean they ain't great.
There's a reason why
for sure.
I'm not hating on you Robert Horry.
Exactly.
Why you hear that name?
Because he hit some clutch shots.
So
not because Robert Horry then put up 50 and fucking was averaging 25 points a game, averaging 10 rebounds.
One of the best role players.
He's the best role player of all time is Del Curry.
So then now it matters on how much you value a clutch player. How bad do you want a clutch player? If your team is down and you want to be able to rely on someone to win the game, not to just get 20 points. Okay, you got 20 points, good, but did you win the game? No. To win
that Russell Westbrook type shit.
That's called doing your job.
And he did it.
That's what he was there for.
And he did it better than at least one other name on here. No, he did it better than Bill Walton.
Bro. Listen, if you're clutch, bro. If you're clutch and you're doing your job in the NBA, that's okay. I get that, but what I
in the playoffs too. Sorry. Okay.
That's where it really counts. That's where it's important.
I get it in the playoffs. I get it. But you're not gonna hand your keys to Robert Horry and say,
take it to the problem.
In the fourth quarter,
definitely.
No.
Are you talking about like throughout the game?
Handing the keys to the franchise saying, take us to the
promised land.
We
want you to build this team around you.
There's so many players on here that are not to that level.
That part too, because supposedly everybody on this team could be built. Everybody on this list, they could build a team around these players. Is what this list is all about.
Okay.
Anybody, any team, if you had, like I said, Dave Bing, I don't know who, I've never heard of that guy. Supposedly, you can build a team around him back in his day. But Robert Horry, you won't do it. You're right. No, today,
in any era, you can't build a team around Robert Horry.
You can do it in Dave Bing's era.
They had a 3-point line.
Hey.
How you gonna build an era?
And he would have just hit. He would have made a lot of twos. He would have made a lot of clutch twos.
Okay,
but
could you have left the keys to Dave Cowens?
Man, Dave Cowens sounded like he was playing in 1949. Don't know who Dave Cowens is, but I'm pretty sure Dave Cowens.
He probably played around the time that Elgin Baylor played, and I heard about Elgin Baylor.
Because he was the Michael Jordan of the 60s and 50s.
So good thing he's on here, but
this David Cowens guy. I don't know, man.
So who was he? Who would you compare Dave Cowens? Who would you compare him to? Like you said,
I don't know him.
No, okay.
But you know Robert Horry.
But I'm gonna tell you, the reason why you know Elgin Baylor because he played for the Los Angeles Lakers. If he played for any other team, you would not know who he is. The NBA was not popular like how it is today. Was not popular. That's why you don't know.
But you know what? But like you said, at the end of the day, you would take Horry. And take off. You was going with him? Take off.
I think Bill Walton is a great pick to get off of that.
Okay, he's in the way. He's in the way. Okay. Yeah. All right, but like I said, that was cool. My man. Hey, y'all gotta go to work tomorrow.
Beer for this shit.
Hey, be easy. Y'all gotta go to work. All right, so now let's continue. That was a good little first topic. That was our 75th. Who was it again? T-Mac, Dwight Howard, Robert Horry. All right.
Take that Laker hat
off. Oh yeah. Like, comment, and subscribe.